I'm sorry, Tommy C. I'm sorry, Daddy Keemstar. I'm sorry, Nicholas Di Fiorio. I don't know how to pronounce him. I'm sorry, Jordy. I'm fucking sorry. It was fucking stupid of me to go on Rich's fucking show and give away the fucking storyline. I'm a fucking attention hog piece of shit. It was fucking stupid. I should have left the moment Muda came on. I'm fucking stupid. And I'm fucking sorry. I understand your decision. I'll hand over any passwords you need, wherever you want. Sorry.
There are many things that outlive humanity once we are all long gone. The pollution that we've caused to the planet, the many technological advancements that we will leave behind once we're all dead, cockroaches, and of course, Boogie2988. For many of you who don't know, Boogie2988 several weeks ago has promoted a coin called Fatty Coin, in which many of the YouTubers, including myself, have made videos about it, covering over the situation. However, pretty much a week later, Boogie would then be accused of lying about cancer, because Boogie's main reason for promoting that crypto scam was for money in order to cover his medical bills. So Destiny went on Locale Live and pretty much confronted Boogie and called him out for apparently lying about cancer. Now, it wasn't really confirmed if Boogie had cancer or not during that episode of their podcast, but the actions and the things that Boogie would say made it really suspicious and really had everyone question whether or not he actually had cancer.
Here's the thing, because I did a stream, because I had people saying, oh, you're faking cancer, Jim. So I showed my diagnoses and stuff like that. I'm going to guess he's working on a system similar to Epic, which most medical people do. You should be able to go right into diagnoses, and it's going to list everything that a doctor has ever said you had.
Yep, I just read it to him.
Okay, and so it lists the cancer there?
Yes.
Okay, so you could screen cap that and just show it. I mean, that's what I did, and then that would be the end of it.
Absolutely. And I made the decision 2 years ago that I would not do that, and I would rather leave the internet than to give the last shred of fucking privacy I have left.
Now, fast forward to last night, as of me recording this, Keemstar would pretty much hold a little trial for Boogie, in which she would decide whether or not Boogie would be fired from the Locale Live podcast. And spoiler alert, Boogie got fired from Locale Live.
You're fired. You have to be fired. You are fired.
This motherfucker does not care. He does not mean that shit.
You are fired. You have to be kicked off this fucking show. This is crazy. This is so fucking bad.
Now, when it comes to Boogie getting fired, I'm feeling a little bit conflicted. I have a lot of mixed feelings about it. On the one hand, it's fun making videos about Boogie, and it's just generally funny to watch him struggle and flop all over the place on the internet. But on the other hand, putting all the fucking content aside, personal amusement, if we really want Boogie to be held accountable, I think the best way to do that is just run him off the platform. Not necessarily ban him or anything like that, right? We're kind of promoting like a ban on him. But Boogie's never going to learn anything because he's on a platform where he's constantly always victimizing himself. He seeks attention, and YouTube is a perfect place for that, or any social media, in fact. So we just went over to his place and just destroyed all his equipment, and he has no choice but to get an actual job, but I don't even know who the fuck's going to hire him. Then maybe he'll finally reflect on himself. And the reason why I doubt that is because Boogie seems to be a type of person that just simply does not want to change. It's a very hard thing to do, to change who you are, and to go through the steps in order to change yourself is a very difficult process to do. But Boogie doesn't want to do that because he loves the attention. One way or another, he's going to find some way to get said attention. And I think putting him on the show Locale Live was really a good idea business wise and content wise. But overall, for Boogie himself, in order to change, it's terrible. Every now and then we hear something about Boogie ever since this podcast started. And now he just got fired. But even then, Keem himself said that he's not really fired. It's just going to be hard for Boogie just to come back from the whole cancer situation. Speaking of which, it was confirmed that Boogie was lying about cancer. Now, what happened is that Boogie pretty much said that the doctor told him what kind of illness he had. Boogie went in, go on Google, and pretty much did a deep dive and said that he had cancer.
In the video, I was told by my doctor that I have polycythemia vera, and we're treating you for polycythemia vera.
He might have uttered those words, maybe. He might, I know, I'm sure he said polycythemia maybe. And he might have even said polycythemia vera. He never told you that you had cancer, though.
That's fair. That's true. I had to Google that.
Okay, yes. Which is what we thought.
God.
That's what we thought in the beginning. He probably told you that you have an elevation, everything. You have polycythemia. You probably Googled that. You might have thought that he said vera. Maybe he fucked up and said vera, but he never said cancer. He never said cancer.
Polycythemia vera many times. Many times.
Oh my God. What just happened? What just happened? Your doctor did not tell you you had cancer?
Correct.
Well,
That's why this was the very first question I asked when I came on your show 3 or 4 days ago, because I knew that he
Again,
never
my
said it.
doctor.
This was a theory that Destiny was pretty much pushing since the start. Some people were just believing that he just straight up was just lying about cancer. But regardless, this goes to show what Boogie is willing to do to garner sympathy from anyone he can. He was willing to pretty much self-diagnose himself cancer and pretty much spread this whole fucking news all across the internet to let the world know that he has cancer in order to get some fucking sympathy. One of the things that really bothered me about this whole fucking situation in this episode and recent events is the way Boogie starts off. He comes off in the beginning.
Boogie!
Hi, Game. How are you?
It's Judgment Day.
Yeah, I've done a lot of soul searching since the last episode. We've been making some changes here on the house, and I've been trying to think of different ways that I could show everybody how fucking sorry I am.
Boogie goes off pretty much face down, like, oh, very somber fucking voice. He had to took out all the fucking props in his background because he said he doesn't want to be fucking connected to the whole Boogie2988 character anymore, and he's like super sad. The way he comes off, the way he talks about himself, like he accepts that what he did was wrong, but it just seems so fucking fake. Like, it doesn't seem like he actually really means it. The way he fucking feels, the way he's apologizing, and we know this is fake because once Destiny joins the call and starts going off on Boogie, at a certain point, Boogie really shows his true colors and start fucking throwing any kind of insult he can at Destiny.
There are separate codes for polycythemia and polycythemia vera. There's different codes.
What's a unique treatment right now that you're taking for polycythemia vera that wouldn't apply to secondary polycythemia?
I don't know.
You're the one that said that you had to pay for all the medications. Didn't you say the cancer treatment was expensive? Well, what is the cancer treatment that you're paying for? What's the unique expensive cancer treatment?
We are doing monthly blood tests, which is expensive.
Blood tests is I do monthly blood tests for STD testing.
Blood
What are you talking about?
Yeah,
Blood
a blood
tests are for
test wouldn't be
anything. What
for
do you mean?
cancer check.
I don't know. They're $70 a pop.
I do blood tests as well. I mean, that's a pretty common.
Okay, so this is so just to be clear, that was another lie. Okay, hold on. I just want to say for people, hold on, just for people that's listening, because this is such common.
I do monthly blood tests specifically
you're
for
lying.
this.
You're such a you're a horrible human being. Okay, you're a horrible person.
Fuck yourself.
No, you're a bad person. You're a horrible, abusive,
fireman in a
manipulative person.
goddamn Trump office. Okay, I'm sorry that I didn't make the choice of fucking. No, I'm sorry. Smear me. I'm fucking smear you.
Keep going.
Now, he pretty much goes off on Destiny, talking about how the whole controversy that Destiny is going through right now, where he got banned off Kick for pretty much making fun of a firefighter that died at the Trump rally. Now, that's a whole other topic on itself, but Boogie bringing this up is pretty much just deflection from what Destiny was talking to him about. But once Destiny starts to go a little bit more deeper into the whole Boogie story and like the details of what he's saying, Boogie gets really defensive and immediately starts to victimize himself. There's that one point within the whole podcast episode where Boogie talks about how how his dad, his ex-girlfriend, and one of his best friends pretty much just died from cancer.
So the crypto scam was your downfall.
Not even, actually. It was just the comment at the end about the cancer. That's the thing that triggered the fuck out of me and made me start digging. That was the thing that triggered me.
Well, I will be honest. My dad died of cancer. My best friend died of cancer. My aunt died of cancer. And Total Biscuit, who I was close with and did a show many times and played games with him, he died of cancer. And so in my experiences, cancer eventually comes back, and cancer eventually gets you. And you should still fight it.
I read about did you say want?
I don't know why he's bringing this up. It's just, I feel like he's trying to bring this up in order to make people feel more bad about himself, feel bad about him or whatever. But in my opinion, this really just makes him look fucking worse, because lying about cancer, pretending you have it, self-diagnosing about it or whatever, you know people who died from it. Holy shit. Like, this dude really is just one of the biggest pieces of shit on the internet. One of the way he wants to pretty much amend for his sins is just donating to cancer research, which is a little ironic, a little funny. We'll get into that why. Pretty much in the first half of the podcast, Boogie and Keemstar revealed that Boogie has donated over $1,000 to St. Jude's.
Do you understand the gravity of how bad this is?
Yes, absolutely. And I'm willing to bend over backwards. And I don't, fuck the show. You kick me off of it, you have to. Obviously, I'm willing to bend over backwards to show everybody how fucked up this was. In fact, right now, and I have it queued up, ready to go, regardless of whether or not you kick me off of the show, I'm donating $1,000, basically, to St. Jude's. I'm pulling that trigger right now.
And Boogie has mailed Keemstar his YouTube play button, in which Keemstar is going to put up on auction and pretty much donate whatever profit they get from it to cancer research. I think they're going to donate to St. Jude's on Boogie's choice. Now, the reason why I think it's funny is because Boogie is struggling with money. He's always been talking about this. This is the whole reason why this whole thing started, was because he was struggling with money to pay for his medical bills, and he did that by pretty much promoting a crypto scam in which he got paid $10,000. And it's funny because apparently all that money already went into his medical bills, yet he had about 2,000 left and 1,000 enough to pretty much donate to cancer research. And what's very hilarious about this is that when it's revealed to Destiny Mudahar and within this podcast episode, fucking Boogie is like, and it really hurt. Oh, it just really hurt. This guy's a fucking clown. It's so ridiculous to see him talk like that about himself specifically in front of other people who are. It's just terrible. It's just fucking terrible. This guy really just sucks. Like I never really understood. It's like if someone fucking ran over a family of four. It's just like, you know, it sucks. It really does suck. You know, I'll turn myself in, but my car's so damaged. The payments on that alone, it's really gonna hurt me financially. Oh, and you know, the whole trial and whatnot, paying for a lawyer. But I'm sorry though. I'm sorry. You know, I did do it. It's like, what? Like, you don't even. It's like, what? Like, you don't even deserve to talk. You don't even deserve the platform you're on. You know, you don't understand how fucking lucky you are, Boogie, to have the kind of following that you have. You fucking scammed the last remaining audience members you fucking had. You clearly live off the fucking views that you fucking have, but you don't. You don't fucking capitalize it at all. Instead, you fucking garner sympathy on the internet and you fucking jerk off to the fucking sympathy. You jerk off to the fucking attention. I bet you even jerk off to fucking hate comments. Probably has some sort of fucking humiliation kink or whatever, however the fuck you pronounce it. But regardless, before I go off on a fucking angry tangent, they bring up pretty much Boogie's medical records again and what it will take to reveal him. And this part is pretty funny because Boogie goes off saying that he's never going to reveal his medical records. And then later in the episode, he then states that I'll reveal my medical records if Destiny and Mudahar reveals theirs. In which case, Destiny and Mudahar agreed to reveal their medical records and specifically their blood results. They don't want to see Boogie's medical history. They just want to see the diagnosis.
Listen, the only way you're ever going to be able to settle this is at some point, you're going to have to release the medical records. You're going to. But you're going to. Because
It's never happened.
And look at everything that's happened because you haven't.
Fuck you.
Look at
Fuck
everything.
you. Fuck you.
You're already fired from the show. You're already gone. I don't care, Boogie. I'm telling you, man to man, that's the
It'll
only
never
way.
happen. It'll never happen. I said 2 years ago I won't, and I fucking won't today, and that's just fucking how it is. This is my goddamn medical records. This is my goddamn medical charts. The day Muda releases his on Twitter, and the day that Destiny releases his on Twitter, including all that shit that I don't want in there, then maybe I'll consider it.
Okay, wait, hold on, I'll do that right now.
When did we-
I just
wait,
did an STD test. I just did STDs like 4 days ago. I didn't publish my results.
Your medical records, the whole fucking thing.
Look, nobody's asking you for all of your, nobody is asking for your entire medical record. What are
He
you
just
talking
did
about?
it. He just did it.
The fucking mental gymnastics this guy's going in order to fucking prove to the world that he's not lying. But everybody knows he's lying. At this point, it just seems like he's trying to lie to himself to make himself believe that he has cancer. Let's not forget the fact that throughout this whole fucking episode, Boogie's pretty much praying and saying that he hopes he has cancer because he fucking deserves it. He doesn't actually believe that. He doesn't have any kind of sympathy of that. He does not actually feel he deserves cancer. He just wants to say that in order to make it feel like he's redeemed himself or he really sees himself. In the beginning of when he first fucking joins, he says like, I've done a lot of soul searching. It's like, all right, all he needs left is a fucking ukulele and a dog with him. And then now he can then say, I made a serious lapse of judgment. The first half of the podcast seems to be very calm, very depressing because Boogie's, you know, victimizing himself. Second half of the podcast is really where it starts to go down, where Boogie and Destiny are just fucking yelling at each other the whole time. And I kid you not, it gets to a lot of topics about self-harm. And how pretty much talking about how Boogie said that he used to be suicidal and he was always self-harming. And then pretty much Destiny was making fun of him about it because he believes he was lying. But according to his track record, Boogie has used suicide as a way to get out or squirm out of any situation he's been in. So whenever Boogie brings up suicide, it doesn't really seem like he actually means it. In fact, it seems pretty fucking deplorable to bring up suicide as a threat in order to get someone to back off on you. However, this threat doesn't really work on Destiny as Destiny proceeds to make fun of him even more. And Boogie pretty much shows his fucking stomach to say this is self-harming, insinuating to the fact that eating yourself to death is a form of self-harm. But one thing leads to another, and I kid you not, Boogie pretty much starts going off the rails, talking about how you want to see me self-harm, pulls out a knife and threatens to fucking cut himself. The moment this happens, Keemstar immediately just exits the call. He leaves the call and pretty much ends the podcast right there.
It's like, you know that episode of South Park where like fucking Carmen's like, I've got golden teeth. He's like, I got this cancer, bro. Now I can fucking make tons of views. I can fucking
Like, imagine, like, after
Do not do anything with that knife. No,
he won't be. He told me to, right?
No,
He told me to.
no.
He told me to. Oh, this is what's standing in the sandwich.
Right now.
What's standing in the sandwich, Destiny?
Put that away right
You
now.
fucking piece of shit.
Okay.
So what happened to Boogie? Did he kill himself? Well, obviously no, he fucking did not. Boogie's never going to fucking end himself. He's a self-entitled, narcissistic piece of shit. He's never going to end up doing that. I would be surprised if he gives himself up in order to save somebody. He probably let everyone else fucking die the nuclear holocaust before he dies, if he had the option to do so. But I firmly believe in order for Boogie to learn his lessons, we need to pretty much cut any kind of attention that he's going to get from the internet from here on out. But that's not going to happen. I don't think any of that is going to happen. Throughout the whole podcast, Keemstar talks about how he feels conflicted about this whole situation. I believe it's a very gray situation, which I don't really understand why he says that. This is not gray at all. Boogie lied about cancer. There's nothing gray about it. No mental illness can fucking excuse kind of something like that. It's not like Boogie was lied to. Boogie was the one who lied about it. Boogie was told he had an illness, Googled it, pretty much said, oh my god, I might have cancer. Made a fucking video about it saying he did have cancer. For the last 2 years, he's been fucking shitting that whole statement out and been getting money off it. He's been profiting off the fact that he's been lying about cancer. He's been profiting off the fact that he has cancer, which he doesn't. There's nothing great about that situation at all. I don't feel bad for Boogie getting fired. I won't even feel bad for Boogie if he ends up homeless. Now, where does Boogie go from here on out? Boogie is pretty much just like a fucking cockroach. You cut off its head, eventually it will die, but it's still gonna live off for at least 10 days. Right now, Boogie's main source of income seems to be the Local Live podcast. So even if he's not making any money from that, he has to go back to making videos, which he has been doing. But the problem is that many people have stated in critique of him was that the videos he made were not good. He doesn't do anything good or specific. People love to hate watch him. That's the reason why they watch Boogie. So if you were able to pretty much capitalize off that, he would be fine. He would be able to pay off his fucking mortgage. But he doesn't do that. That's literally one of the biggest issues. He just does not do that. Now, I don't think Boogie is going to leave the Local Live podcast. Keemstar says he's fired, but from what I can see, Boogie really seems to be the only person there that produces any content that Twitter's willing to talk about. Out of Tommy C and Wings for Redemption, I'm surprised they look fucking good in this situation. Boogie's the only one that seems to be producing any kind of Local Live or Local content that people genuinely like to laugh at and make videos on. Like, he's pretty much the whole podcast cash cow. So I don't think he's actually going to leave. Keemstar says he's fired. I don't really think so. I think I only see 2 ways of this going on forward. 1, Boogie stays on the podcast despite Keemstar saying he was fired. 2, the whole podcast gets taken down. It just gets scrapped. I wouldn't be surprised if it gets scrapped because 1, like I said, Boogie's the whole cash cow of the project. Keemstar has been complimenting quitting the podcast anyways. So I really think Keemstar might even just take the opportunity just to fucking scrap the whole thing and just leave. But yeah, guys, that's like the whole situation going around Boogie right now. I'm willing to bet money that he's going to be back on the podcast next week, but we'll see. He is one of the biggest pieces of shit on the internet. A very unique piece of shit, might I add you. Fun to look at, fun to laugh at. But I really think if we want him to be held accountable, we really need to pretty much just let him be, ignore him, do not give him any kind of attention. Let him die off eventually. But yeah, that's about it. See ya.
Thirsty for Fago? Are you thirsty for Fago? Yeah. Are you thirsty? Yeah. It's delicious. It's delicious. I don't want Fago.
Well, let me
I want Mountain Dew. Oh my goddamn Mountain Dew.
Climb up a ladder with the hammer.
I'm gonna find it. I'm gonna find my goddamn Mountain Dew. Did you drink my Mountain Dew? Did you drink my Mountain Dew? Let me smell your breath. Let me smell your breath.